fucking time.
And what's happening, everyone? It's Kyle for the Magpie 24/7 podcast, and it's a podcast me and Paul have been wanting to do for a very long time. Newcastle United takeover officially completed, and Newcastle United are now the richest club in the world. Just let it sit for a second, and then I'm going to say it again: the richest club in the world. And it's just been a manic couple of days. I've been listening around the other fan channels, the other lads, Paul, let them get their opinions out, and then get mine get mine as well. But me, I kind of like get the grips with it. I'm gonna let you go first. Just the floor's yours, mate. How do you feel that this takeover after 14 years, after 18-month battling with the Premier League, it came out of absolutely nowhere. Eventually, it's went through. Like, how do you feel, mate?
Mate, I feel like a kid on Christmas Day. I said to you before we came on air, I still, now we're recording this obviously a couple of days afterwards, I still feel in a state of absolute shock. It was like a sugar rush when it all happened. All the news was kicking off. I've got Sky Sports News on one TV. I had another TV upstairs that was switched on. I had radio switched on. I had my phone in one hand, computer in the other. You've got laptop, you've got iPad, you've got literally everything going, constantly searching for news. You're posting stuff. You're like, but the thing is, even when it came up, the contracts had been exchanged. Even when money had been exchanged, I was still but no, I'm not. I'm going to keep myself in reserve. I want to hold myself back because I'm not trained as a Newcastle supporter. There's going to be a kick in the bollocks somewhere along this. There's going to be a kick in the bollocks. And I was expecting it. And literally, when it cut to Sky Sports News and it went from whichever Mark was doing the introduction over then to Keith Downey, I actually had tears streaming down my eyes. It was like, it was 100% emotional. I'm sitting there sobbing. The missus is looking at us, wondering what's going on. The kids are confused and stuff. And I'm just like, I said, until you've been in it, I said it's like being kept like prisoner or something like that. And you just got free. It was that sort of feeling. But I didn't dare let myself feel anything, mate, until he said, "I've got the message. The Premier League have released a statement. Newcastle United have released a statement," and they started reading the statement, and that was it, mate. The walls just literally went down. I was so emotional, I couldn't speak. I was taken back, and literally I was like a rabbit in the headlights and stuff. And I just sat there and I looked, and I saw the scenes on the TV, and Kerry's saying to her, she's saying, "Well, do you want to go up to Newcastle?" She was like, "Well, we can go in the car," and I was like, "Oh, by the time we get up and stuff like that." But literally, I was taking it all in, and I had every different avenue to be able to see what was happening at St James's Park. You were sending pictures up and videos up, watching Sky Sports and just watching the scenes, watching what it meant. It's beyond a business transaction. It is like a lottery win. That is probably the only way that as a Newcastle supporter we can sum it up, mate. But it meant absolutely everything. But I could not believe it, despite the hype, despite what we were posting during the day up on our socials. I just couldn't. But I couldn't at all. And then the first thing I wanted to do was like, right, I need a can. And the missus was like, "Well, you're just sitting here balling." So no, I just needed it. It was just something to signify it. And you're sitting down there and you're just literally just sucking it all in and taking in the moment and savoring the moment and thinking, 14 years of this bastard. Yeah. And he finally fucked off. And you think back to what happened with him at Rangers, where he had to be dragged out, and you're thinking, this is too good to be true. And the thing is, it's not only, mate, just getting rid of Mike Ashley. That's fantastic. But we've perhaps got the best team of people buying the club. You know, you've got experts in property. You've got Staveley and her husband, who are really warm and I think connect on a real human level, and the real people persons who I think are going to do fantastic things to motivate people in the club. and to be that connection. And then you've got the absolute filthy wealth of the Saudi PIF, Public Investment Fund, to have that muscle behind you. And it's just like we have got, it's just the best. If it had just been one person, you might have got one of those things. But we've got the best of everything. Each offers a little bit of something else. And that is what I find truly, truly, truly amazing. And then what happened in the following hours, as the story developed and we were getting interviews of Stavely and the likes, and I was looking at, Magpie channel, I was looking at True Faith, Gallagher Shots, they were doing stuff, and grown men, like you say, and I'm not...
Just so passionate about the club.
Just being passionate. Yeah. Many were upset, roaring, over the moon, celebrating, hashtag cans, jumping up, telling people to fuck off, all sorts. And again, I think everybody was like that. We all had a bit of, like I say, a few tears, few jumping up, a few getting, I can't believe this. It's definitely happened. Yeah. So the whole range of emotions on that day, mate. But I still, to this moment now, I'm numb and unbelievable. And I was like walking around like Vince McMahon the following morning, taking the bairns down to school.
Conor McGregor, yeah.
Newcastle shirt, Conor McGregor walking in, and I was full of this. And I was like, I was a Newcastle supporter since birth. I don't want to this story. Stuff done, but yeah, mate. What a couple of days, and just for a moment you forget that we're second bottom. Who gives a shit?
I mean, that's what I was going to go on to, mate. I mean, the news came out of nowhere. The news was Saudi and Qatar had made an agreement with the TV deal or something like that. And it just started to snowball from there. The deal was going to be agreed and stuff, maybe a couple of weeks, but it went through, it just went through within a day. Everything happened from 3:00 in the afternoon on the Wednesday to about 5:15 in the afternoon the next day. Everything, it just moved so fast.
The step inside of us, though, things now that you're looking at what the government are doing with tightening this up, and all of a sudden a government who didn't really want to get involved, politicians they'll get involved now, they'll put the 2 pennies worth in now. And I can't just help but think it was pushed through because there probably is going to be change coming along. And the Premier League know that they were up shit creek, without a paddle. I was one of them people who sat there and watched the legal proceedings all day from the beginning right the way through to the end. Yeah.
Waste of time now as it happens because it's been thrown out.
Yeah, but it was a waste of time, but it wasn't, because I think
it didn't. In hindsight, it's a waste of time, but at the time, obviously, because we were ready to do a podcast on the cat case, and then everything started to come through, and we thought we'd hold off a little bit longer and see what happened to you, and this go on. It's not just because the podcast that we had arranged was 19th in the league, same old shit, and the cat case was all right, and hopefully that leads to something in January. But we sit here now, and the takeover's not only progressing, but it's done. After so long,
perfect time as well, mate. I was thinking, because I was thinking, it could have done with being maybe a couple of months ago for over the transfer window. But if you think about it, mate, the takeover going through now and going through in the way that it has gives Stavely and co a couple of months to be able to make moves.
Fundamental changes,
It's not going to be panicked. It's going to be carefully thought about, carefully planned, and I think there'll be a flurry of activity at the beginning of this transfer window coming up for Newcastle. And that's before we get all of the directors in place that we need to. They've already started advertising for staff, mate, which I think is fantastic. Looking at the concourses, the bar areas, all around the club, they've already started advertising for more staff. And that community feel, mate, it's felt so stripped back for so long, and everything's so cheap and nasty and budget type brands. It's just it's absolutely fucking amazing. This time, mate, it's gone through. It's gone through at the perfect time because, like I say, a couple of months worth of planning would get the right manager in, the right sporting directors, get some legends around the club, and then really hammer this January transfer window over the moon. It literally is perfect.
It doesn't even start into word, like going to words, mate. How I feel about it. Like, obviously, to put into perspective, I was 10 years old, mate, when Mike Ashley bought Newcastle United. Majority of my time supporting this club has been under Mike Ashley. So, like, to see like a new era, a new everything, where you're thinking we could do something more than just keep our best player, or like afford more than loan fees, or have Steve Bruce as a manager. Like, it's just crazy, because I remember watching the.
We're going to Chowdhury, mate, in January.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, like, I watched that Wolves game last weekend, and I was like, it was a familiar feeling, mate. It was like all of last season, where I just felt deflated. I felt furious, and like, we stopped doing the podcasts for this exact reason. That's why we switched it from weekly to a month, and there'll be more on that later, what we're doing with the channel and stuff going forward. But like, we changed it to that on the basis of how Steve Bruce was and how the club was run, and just the general feel of being a fan was absolutely fucking miserable. Like, it was misery every week. It was just Steve Bruce does a press conference, pisses someone off. One of his mates in the media, I'll call him a great man, would be terrible, would set up wrong, would either get beat or would play really shit, and rinse and repeat every single week, mate. And it was the exact same from when Rafa Benitez left the club to when Steve Bruce took over, every single week for 2 years. And it was like, it wasn't like I was losing interest, but I was kind of falling out of love with it a little bit. I would always watch, and I would always go out with blind loyalty, but like,
you feel like against the ropes, isn't it? It's like you after obviously last night. You did feel as if you were just like, you were like knocked down on the ropes, get up, knocked down on the rope, you constantly knocked down, and you're on the bottom rope, and you're like, I can't get up this time. And I was even saying it to the missus recently that before all this sort of kicked off, I'm like, I said, I've never known it be such a chore. I said, I mean, for me now, it's a 240-mile round trip to a home game, obviously season ticket holder and stuff like that. Yeah. It's several hours out of the day. Obviously, if it's a late kickoff,
it is next week.
You know what I mean? You're not getting in until unsociable hours and stuff like that. And you're like, and I said to her, I says, I just don't know. I said, I always used to know why you did it, and you used to enjoy and this, that, and the other. I says, but the football is absolutely terrible. And I said, the club, I said, comparing it to how it used to be under, say, Robson or back under the Keegan days, you always felt it had a trophy in them. It was striving. It could be our year this year, but it got as dull as going to a pound shop or something like that, mate. Well, and it literally drawing the life out of us all, and I think it would go all that far down, and that's why this news coming totally out of the blue. Nobody knew it at all. It was like a Manchester City sort of situation.
It was just.
You just all of a sudden, bang.
I think Steve Bruce summed the current feel of the feel of the club before the takeover went through perfectly. We're just a club ticking along, and that was probably going to be the title of the podcast before the takeover. We're just ticking along, and it's just been a crazy couple of days, because it all happened in the space of 26 hours. And like, the news started coming through, people were skeptical and stuff like that. Like you usually get, because Polly, who usually has followed pages for a long time, he was like, get this nonsense off the page, lads. How we expect that is. And I was like, it might go through this time, lad. And lo and behold, Polly went through, mate. But to try and sum it up, though, mate, like I'd lost interest as a fan. I was trying to like motivate myself, give myself reasons and blind loyalty. Like, even doing podcasts and stuff, we felt it was saying the same things, and like no positivity with even being called negative. The negative podcast, negative podcasts are always negative on Twitter, apparently. Fuck you too. But it's like, for me, it's like, what could we possibly be positive about? Do you know what I mean? And
exactly. Like, the thing is, and I'll just put in 2 pennies worth there. We've always from day one, and perhaps even before that, we've always called it exactly as we've seen it. We do not dress things up for the sake of positivity's sake, or let's say some nice things, or let's say a couple of nice things before you say negative. I think we're just being very, very real people. We don't sit on the fence. There's no splinters in our arse. We haven't ever tried to lick the arse of the club or any particular players or group or anything like that to get somewhere or to forward ourselves. There's no agenda or anything else at all. We, again, just emphasise the fact it's just two lads chatting how we would normally about the football and stuff like that. So it's not a case of being negative for negative's sake, because believe me, in the couple of days of positivity since this team has gone through, it has been fantastic for us personally, for Magpie 24/7. It has exploded in so many different fantastic ways. We always want to see the best in our football club. Always want to do. But let's face it, you can't just blow hot air at people's asses for nout. And if you see just a sea of shit, then you've got to call it as a sea of shit. In the same way that we've said lots of positive things about Amanda Staveley and the rest of the consortium and what's happened over the past couple of days. That's, again, not because we've got any sort of agenda. It's because that is how we legitimately see it and how we legitimately feel about it. So
yes, that's how we've seen
it. It's a case of we are being as real as possible. No agendas, no bullshit.
No, well, that's it. That's us. Mate. We are ourselves on Twitter and stuff, and a lot of people have a lot. There's a lot of ego in Newcastle Twitter, and there's a lot of there's a lot of toxicity, or there was, but like we were just ourselves among all that. And if it came negative, and you might have thought that, like, listening, but I do apologise. But at the end of the day, we were just being ourselves, weren't being negative for negative sake. People have accused us of that, but you know, like, the shoe's on the other foot now. It's positive. It's looking forward. Like,
well, you say people have accused us. There's been chatter about that sort of thing. Nobody ever comes up to you and says it to your face, do they, mate? But
no, of course not.
No, that wouldn't be how it happens. But that is part of the thing that I am looking forward to, mate, about this
positivity. Yeah, it's been nice to be positive on Twitter about things
coming together, because I'm sick and tired of how fractured it became. And you know what? One of the best things to come from it, apart from getting rid of Ashley and everything, is seeing just that positivity, that smile. You can't help but smile, feel positive, happy about the future. Fans aren't stressing out so much about the football that then they attack one another. You know, everybody is singing from the same hymn sheet. And the tweet that Newcastle put out, and they put out Newcastle United in capital letters, I thought was fantastic. It summed it up brilliantly. And that's what, as a fan base, what we need to be. Doesn't matter about different umbrellas or this, that, and the other, what you come under, hashtags, different accounts and stuff like that. I've already said on this podcast now, I love watching the stuff that True Faith does. I love watching the stuff Gallagher Shots do, Sharky, Proudlock, all different types, different styles, Magpie channel and stuff. I love that different variation. I think it's a real strength, to watch different styles, different personalities, stuff like that. But it's just a time for everybody to come together, because it's going to be such a fantastic roller coaster ride as we move forward into uncharted waters. And
uncharted is very understated.
You've got to pinch yourself, mate. You can't.
It is. It's completely mental. Like the takeovers went through. It's not speculation anymore. It's no longer talking about the big six or whatever. But it's actually through, and it's just such a nice feeling. And like to go like from the bat though. Like I think one thing that we've got to say is like a massive thank you to Amanda Staveley, and a massive thank you to the husband, my dad, Guardi as well, I think his second name is. A massive thank you to them, because them two never gave up on Newcastle. They've been going at it for 4 years, trying to get Newcastle, working with Peter Kenyon, being called time wasters when PCP Capital Partners failed to buy Newcastle. They've, like, Staveley and her husband have really, really tried to get Newcastle over a 4-year period, and it's probably been difficult for them. They've had court cases with Barclays in the middle of that, and fighting tooth and nail with the Premier League and all this stuff. and they've never ever gave up on Newcastle, Paul. And like for me, the analogy would be like if Amanda Staveley and her husband are willing to fight that hard to get Newcastle, imagine how hard they're going to fight to take Newcastle to the top of the league. That's a winning mentality, mate. When things are against them, they don't give up, they don't give in, they don't throw in the towel, they don't leave the manager out to dry like Mike Ashley did. They're going to fight and they're going to make sure the club gets to the very fucking top. And for me, that's it's not just a winning mentality, it's an elite mentality you have to have if you're going to win titles, mate. If you're going to run a football club efficiently, they're the type of people you need to do it, because if there is going to be adversity next couple of years where people throwing stones our way and stuff like that, they're the type of people you want. They if all's said and done, all's lost.
Yeah, the fierce, aren't they? They're fiercely protective of Newcastle United, and yeah, I mean they've been called worse than shit, mate. I mean, even going on to talk shite when Simon Jordan's spewing out his rhetoric and trying to look intelligent by putting his glasses on and off and stuff like this, and coming out with a few fancy words and really trying to diss her and put her off. The Premier League have tried their utmost. You've got Masters, Hoffman. You've got, like Qatar and, BN and all of that sort of thing. For them to go through, normal business, mate, would say, look, it's too complicated. It's not worth it. It's not worth the sacrifices. I'm missing out on other things. She's got other business interests as well that no doubt have had to take a back seat to this.
Yeah.
But she has been tenacious, and when she is at the stadium and her husband, because no doubt they will be there, and the Rubens and stuff, we owe them so much.
So much.
Because it has been a difficult task to fight this, and I just think, mate, that 99% of everybody else who's came to the table to try and buy the football club just wouldn't have been that fussed. It would have been a business transaction. And the thing is, mate, in that first 24 hours, in fact, in the first 5 or 6 hours after she bought the football club, mate, she's communicated more with the fans.
It's crazy.
Than Ashley did in 14 years. She is connected with the fans, going down there and shaking fans' hand, giving them hugs.
Yeah, it's mental. It's mental to see owner that cares, mate. It's mental.
It is. And the thing is, like, we don't even all this that's out there, mate. All this Newcastle fans, they demand Champions League football and league titles and stuff. Now this has been talked about. This has been talked about by obviously the new owners, mate. All I'm excited to see is a bit of a liquor paint and a few new TVs at St James's. Them disgusting Sports Direct shite being raged down. I'd love it if Shearer's bar came back rather than the Nines. I'd love for Shearer's statue to be outside the Gallagher.
Yeah.
Because it's pissed me off forever and a day where it is at the moment. It's not on Newcastle United land, and that really, really irks, and it has done since it got put up. These are the sort of things that I'm looking forward to, and a little bit of pride in that. Look, because it's part of you carry it around, mate. I'm down here, in South Yorkshire at the moment. I carry it around, and yeah, exactly. You carry it around. It's part of your all of the
skin, man. It's part of your religion.
Yeah, you want that pride. And I was striding around the next day, walking down to school, and I'm sitting there in Newcastle shirt. And you know what, mate? The amount of people who came up to us, and whilst I was out at work for the rest of the following day as well, and people going up to us, and different fans from different clubs, and going, you know what? I'm over the fucking moon that you lot got that takeover. I'm over the moon. I'm well pleased for you. Now, I just don't think you get that at many other football clubs. I really, really don't. It is a special and a unique club, a one-city football club. The potential is absolutely amazing.
Enormous, it is.
And
enormous.
Yeah, but to see other people, other supporters. I've had Leeds supporters, Sheffield United, Barnsley supporters, Manchester United supporters, Liverpool supporters, all sorts of different clubs come up to us, fans, and said, "I'm just over the moon for you." Forget all the politics and the bullshit, and other people will no doubt try and sling mud left, right, and centre. I'm a football fan. I'm not a fan of geopolitical news and stuff like that.
No.
That's not me. I don't know enough of it. I'm a football fan. I'm a passionate football fan who loves and cares for that club.
Yeah.
And I've watched them all over the country. I've seen the Keegan years.
I've seen them through good and seen them through bad. Yeah.
I've seen them down, and I've seen us play Scunthorpe. I've seen us down on our arse, and I've seen us spiral.
I'm an Orient and friendly.
No apology, mate, but I've got an added bounce in my step at the moment because of what's happened, and it's all down to the tenaciousness. Because I've no doubt that Saudi PIF, mate, they would have been given other options. Inter Milan were desperate for them to invest, but Staveley and the husband have kept them at the table. They've kept them interested. They've kept communicating and stuff like that. And I just think in the business world, mate, that we're in at the moment, I think that's absolutely fucking amazing. And she will get a tremendous outpouring of emotion. Somebody else will get it, mate, as well when he comes up. Nick DeMarco sitting there with his black and white little post and stuff that he did and everything.
I'm buying him a Warburton's, me.
That man, again, we talk about that case and we touched on it before, saying it wasn't really important, but it was because, mate, again, that boxing thing, Nick DeMarco and that legal team had the Premier League smashed from pillar to post. I watched the entire thing.
Yeah.
And they knew that if they didn't get around the table and discuss the deal, that shit was going to hit the fan. And it's amazing how quickly after that, and after how well Nick DeMarco and the rest of the legal team did, that this deal has got sorted. And it's because of the sheer shits caused at the Premier League by their performance. So Nick DeMarco, as soon as it's possible, I can't wait to see him up at St James's Park. I can't wait to see Staveley and her husband, and hopefully as well the representatives from the Saudi PIF as well. They'll be there shortly. So I'm looking forward to it, mate. I'm looking forward to it. I'm not I'm not a political person or anything like that.
No Newcastle fan
are concerned.
Like,
but yeah,
through everything, mate. Like all the negativity and everything that this club and this fan base has been through for the last 14 years, it's all been out of love for the football club. Like it's been crazy 14 years. We've had some of the worst managers of a generation in charge of a team. We've had some fucking shit players. Like we've got some now. It's like like Emil Kraft and Jeff Hendrick playing for the richest team in the world is like it's mental. It's
he's a history maker. Hendrick is a history maker. He scored the last goal of the Mike Ashley regime. So he's made history. Bruce and Hendrick have made history. You can't believe it, can you? But we've had some shit. We have had
over the last couple of over the Mike Ashley era, we've had some shit. Every transfer windows has been a case of can we keep our best player. At the start of it, it was like keeping the likes of Kevin Nolan and people like that, and at the time Stephen Taylor in the Championship and Colaccini, and then it moved on to Cabai and Tiote and Demba Ba, and then it moved on to the likes of Cisse and Ben Arfa and people like that, and then losing these players, having frustration at not replacing these players, terrible appointments, severely understaffed teams, severely understaffed coaching staff, severely understaffed everything under Mike Ashley. Basically, a skeleton system to keep running. Wonga, Steve Bruce, like there was very few things to be excited about under Mike Ashley, and that was over 14 years. And in the midst of that, there was many takeover attempts where fans are like, "Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen? Is it going to happen?" And for the past 6 years, mate, that's kind of what we've been hoping for. Can a takeover happen? Can a takeover happen? Can a takeover happen? And it
wasn't healthy, mate. It wasn't healthy because the thing is, mate, the entire fan base has had to take the eyes off the most important thing about the football club, and that is the results and standards. And standards have dropped, and performances have dropped, and results have dropped, and Newcastle dropped twice into the Championship and stuff. And it should never be a case where you've got to be a legal eagle, or you've got to be a takeover expert, or you've got to be an expert in geopolitical tensions between countries and
In the
stuff like that.
Middle East.
You're a Newcastle United support. It should always be about the football. And I know when I was watching Keegan, in Keegan years, I know when I was watching Robson and the likes of that, politics rarely came into it. Yeah, there was a situation involving shirts and the owners slagging off Newcastle women and stuff. That is as political as it got, and it was being done and sorted within no time whatsoever. So it really has been a farce, mate. 14 years, mate, and one decent season. The 5th place finish.
Yeah.
When Pardew aside, and even then, I don't know. I was going to say he couldn't, but I'll rephrase that. He wouldn't push on. He didn't want the club to push on.
No, he didn't.
He wanted the club to be a 17th in the league every single season, ticking along, tickety-boo on as low a staff as possible. I know people who've lost jobs at Newcastle United. Their jobs have never been replaced. Even down to things like furlough and stuff like that.
Yeah, abused that system too.
It's disgusting, mate. It should be it was always a family, a community club. You've only got to listen to like a Bobby Robson when we lost down in London. It might have been Charlton, and he's sitting there going, it's no, this isn't good enough and stuff like that. And I feel sorry for them fans. And talking about the fans under Ashley, we were always talked about as customers. Yeah. Thousands of fans leaving, mate. There's people who we haven't seen at the football for
a long time. Hopefully we'll see them on Sunday. Really hope we do, because it's been a long time coming, mate, and it's just.
I can't wait to see if the War Flags display back. I can't again. Next Sunday it is going to be like.
They were there with the celebrations, which brings us nicely on to it, because I finished work at around 4:00, and I'm thinking, right, I've got to get to St James's. Gets to St James's, and it's like fairly quiet, but starts filling up, and with the Wi-Fi being so the signal being so shit, like you're getting news from here. So basically, people are coming out with 9 bar and telling people the news, and the news was money's being transferred, and the rumor was Staveley was with Keith Downey at Jesmond Hotel for an interview. Get that clear, but no, but it was
news.
slowly building up to the news. And I was talking to a couple of lads who recognised from the podcast, so just having a crack on and what it means to them, and it was just nice to hear their stories too. And yeah, 5:15, mate. The news came through of news I didn't think I'd ever hear, and everyone just starts going absolutely crazy. What a beautiful moment, mate! Like when the takeover went through, it's like one of them where were you moments, like, and I can say I was outside of St James's Park next to the tree, like as you go in next to the tree, everyone just in the absolute element, mate. And with everything that's been going on, especially over the last 18 months for the Premier League and stuff like that, all that frustration just seemed to go at the click of a finger, like gone. All that frustration turned to relief, celebration, and joy, and it was just a fantastic thing to be a part of. And these fans not only celebrated, but they celebrated hard and long into the night, mate. And it was to see the pictures over social media and stuff like that of a united fan base, of a happy fan base, of an excited fan base, a team that's like a set of fans who have kind of been set free, because you look over the past 14 years, we've been told how to support a club by these pundits, and Steve Bruce is a nice man, and we expect too much. Expect a football team that's
expect too much. Like a paint round St James's Park.
Yeah, so like to have a situation where we can actually look up, and like just to see those pictures, mate, of the fans united was crazy. Like as a fan, probably some of the best things I've seen from the fan. In fact, the best I've seen, because for the first time in a long time, we're looking forward. We're looking up. We're not looking down. We're not looking over our shoulder. We're looking up. I mean, in terms of the table, we've got no choice. But like we're looking up, and we're full of hope.
In a way, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter now. At the end of the day, I think that we get somebody competent in. I think this group of players is way better than what's already been achieved so far this season. I think that's a fact. I think with somebody competent, he will get us pushed up the table, no problem. And I think we will reinforce and stuff like that. But, even if the worst was to happen, mate, and we were to go down, I know that we've got people with the best interests. Listen to the language that they use, talking about we are custodians and this, that, and the other. It's not.
And they want to win the league in 10 years. They win the league. Win the league.
It's just like when they say stuff like that, it's like, look, it's like you're like, oh no, please, we're all ready. It's like it is like a sugar rush, and it's just like one bit of good news comes out, then another, then she'll do another interview and she'll say 5 to 10 years win the league. Then she goes to the training ground and says it's awful. We need a new training ground. We're going to invest in the community.
Nice.
The women's football now, obviously,
and the foundation.
The foundation and the women's football. Now, I've argued, and the missus has also argued. She used to say, we went up to Druid Park to watch them play, and obviously, the little one led the Newcastle United team out against Bradford. And she's like, well, how come they don't play at St James's Park? And I said, well, actually, they've got jobs around St James's Park, or they do other things externally. And it's just little things like bringing the women's team on board, maybe hopefully push them up to become professional, trying to get them into the women's Super League, stuff like that. As a father who's got daughters and stuff like that, that is fantastic. They are a brilliant team up at Druid Park. I've said umpteen times.
Well, they won 8-0 today. 18 a bit ahead of myself, but they won 8-0 today.
Safely into the next round of the cup and stuff like that. They are fantastic, but straight away, you could have forgiven Staveley for not mentioning the foundation and not mentioning the women's team straight away.
They covered everything, mate. They covered all grounds.
They're so meticulous, and they're like, we made plans 4 years ago. We've got plans in place to push this club on. We are going to look at everything, and we are going to see it how we become. And even the statement that came out from the Saudi, PIF chairman, who's got obviously he's got a seat on the board and stuff, and he's talking about, you won't hear from us as much. However, we are very interested. We're very passionate in this project, and we want the best. And like, I had to laugh earlier on. I think I was watching football. I was watching a football show anyway, and somebody was on about Newcastle's next manager, which I know we're going to get on to the managerial situation shortly. But you're talking about that people are saying, well, it could be Potter from down at Brighton. And they're mentioning other players, other managers' names like Eddie Howe. And then somebody saying, from conversations that I've had, they are great managers, but these look for the best. You've got to look at like what a Chelsea would look at, what a Manchester City would look at. And they wouldn't look at a Howe or a Potter or anything else like that. We are talking people who live an extravagant way and only have the best, that demand the best. They look around things like at our training ground and think, oh my, I wouldn't put my dog in this. I wouldn't put me hamster, me cat, whatever in this. This isn't good enough for us. We're not, and the thing is, they are not in it, mate, to finish in the top 10. They're not in it. Win. Yeah, they're in it to win it. There's no point, and that is a fundamental shift at Newcastle United. Before, we were just in it so that we could say we're in it and just say, well, at least the Premier League. And you have that clip of the Sunderland supporters when we were relegated, and they're saying, but we're Premier League and all this sort of shit. Yeah. There's no point, mate, if you're not going to be in it to try and win it or win a cup or something like that. Yeah, but we do have to start, and it is going to take time, I think, at Newcastle, because we would be quite all right with the training ground getting done up, a Solomon Rondon type of signing for another striker coming in, those type of play. We'd be quite happy with that. St James's Park and the lick of paint, Shearer's Bar coming back, take your spots. I mean, I'd be over the moon if they took the Sports Direct stuff down straight away and stuff. But the people who are in charge of the football club now, I think, in a lot more above that. And they've had 4 years now, and they've said we've got our plans in place. Yes, some of the names have changed. Before, I'm sure that Rafa Benitez would have been installed Newcastle United manager before now. Yeah. That isn't going to happen. But potentially, I think they're looking top tier. And Rafa is a fantastic bloke, and he's had a fantastic career. But I think they're even looking now and saying, "Well, can we go? Can we go above Rafa? Can we look at a Conte? Can we look at somebody else like that?" When you see like Zidane's third favourite for the Newcastle United manager's job, and you've got to scratch your head and think, "What the fuck?" But Newcastle fans are going to have to start looking at things a little bit differently. But like I say, myself and a lot of other Newcastle fans who've commented on the page across our socials, we'll all be happy with just the same. So what they're speaking about, mate, is fucking brilliant, absolutely fucking brilliant. And I'm all over the moon, and I keep going back to that. It's like a lottery win.
It is.
It's a perfect situation
because like it's one thing getting Mike Ashley out the door, because even you've said many a time before the takeover went through, you would take Fred West. Like beggars can't be choosers. We wanted rid of Mike Ashley, but we haven't just got rid of Mike Ashley, but we've become not only the richest team in the league, but we're richer than all 19 other teams put together. It's like
there was that
it's a dream.
And it was like the wealth of the Premier League, and like Newcastle United, I'd say 3/4 of the wealth of the Premier League, and the other 19 teams fit well inside of the rest. And I put the American Pie, put Jim's dad going about the party below, and I was just laughing it off. And obviously my stepson, he's in army training at the moment, and I was talking to him last night actually, and he was, "Oh, what's up?" And I was like, "Well, Newcastle are the richest club in the world now." He's like, "Oh, what, the richest up like northern teams or like behind Manchester United?" No, I said, "We're richer than Manchester United, we're richer than Chelsea, we're richer than Manchester City." But he's not as rich as a Barcelona, are you?
True.
And but then you're like, well, actually, we're richer than Barcelona, we're richer than Real Madrid. You want to put all of them together, and they still wouldn't. And it's like
close.
You're laughing, but the thing is, you when you say it, you like laugh, or you're like apologetic about it, because, like you said, I would have took anyone. You know, I'd have took Bugs Bunny running the club over Lee Charney and them, and whatnot. And I said before, I looked at Mike Ashley like a cancer in the football club, and it's just like getting the all clear after that. You know, you can drop to the ground and literally, I just couldn't believe how emotional. And for the rest of the night, I was glued to the TV screens, glued to the computer, to everything else that was going off.
Yeah,
just taking it in. And again, the other half's like, she's like, "Well, you've seen that. I need to take it." I can't believe it. And the following day, you're like, I still can't believe it. Maybe even now, it still feels
like pinching yourself and arms hurting. And yeah, it's
now we're on about Steve Bruce and stuff like that, mate. And you're like, I'd have been happy just getting rid of Mike Ashley.
Get rid of him. Yeah, get rid of Bruce and get rid of
Bruce. Get rid of Charnley. We're getting rid of Justin Barnes. We're getting rid of the lot of them, and literally
starting again.
Yeah, starting with a clean sweep, and it doesn't matter, mate. But like I said, what I touched on before, it doesn't matter if we go down in a way, because we know that the people who are there are patient, they're passionate, and they would see us back, mate. So either which way, even if we were to go down, which everybody will laugh about, but even if we were to go down, mate, there's 100% cast iron guarantee that we would be coming back with a plan. But I honestly think now, with a change of manager, with the players having a fresh start and everything else like that, I honestly think we'll be okay. I'm not saying we're going to have a fantastic season this season, but, mate, everybody is just going around with a smile on their face. I can't wait for the next home game, away game. Can't wait for it, mate. It's
going to be amazing, mate. Like, it really is. But the last couple of seasons, it's been, can we get to the summer to get the takeover through? Now it's a case, can we get to the summer so we can rebuild, because the takeovers already went through. And I think that's an advantage. Amanda Staveley, the Rubens and PIF and co, all that's one thing they have, because if we can stay up, then they've got a whole summer. They don't have to work out takeovers or handing documents over, anything like that. They've got the club, so like they can get to the summer, try and consolidate this season, like. Because, in my notes now, like, the next thing I was going to talk about was summarising the Premier League 18-month kind of battle. We don't have to worry about that anymore. We don't have to try and get through another season of Steve Bruce. We can now look up. We can now think ahead because we've now got this takeover and it's looking good. And like the fans are happy. The players seem happy. Like from Twitter and stuff. Like
Isaac, so that's what it is.
Yeah. Like Isaac's Hayden's went from arguing with you on Twitter, Paul, to like saying like congratulations and hopefully the fans are hopefully the fans are happy with the news coming through. So like it's crazy what a turn of events it's been. Like after the Man U game, if you'd have told me after the stuff with Hayden, like it would have went on to a couple of weeks later the takeover going through, I would have but it's been 18 long months, mate. We don't have to worry about that anymore. And it's like we can look forward to January, like with reports of Newcastle being able to spend up to 190 million in January through financial fair play. I don't think they will spend 190 million in January, but it's the fact that they can. Like going into January, usually, like it's can we keep our best player or can we bring someone in on loan? And
we a couple of months ago we couldn't afford the fee for that lad who went from Manchester United to Aston Villa on loan.
To David,
and we struggled scraping around the money from the back of the sofa to look to secure a loan deal for Chowdhury from Leicester. Another quick there made. Now the players are carrying the likes of stuff that's getting linked now is it's mind blown. And you're watching games thinking we're going to be playing better than these soon, or well, I wonder if we're going to get because before we were so like. We signed a Joe Willock. It was like all your Christmases come true at once. That was a fantastic deal for Newcastle. And I do hope that going forward, we build a team with young, attacking, talented players like your Alan Saint-Maximins, like your Joe Willocks, Miguel Almirons, and the likes. I don't want sort of end of the road names coming in for the sake of it and stuff like that.
And now we'll probably will be looking towards the academy and stuff like that. How long has it been since an academy graduate came through the doors and like, you know, the Longstaff brothers, Paul Dummett and Andy Carroll have been the only academy graduates since the Amiobi brothers. There's only a handful, mate, and it's like there's so much untapped potential in the northeast of England. It's unreal. You've got Adam Armstrong who's scoring goals for Southampton. You've got I think it's Sholas Shayate who's come through the ranks at Man United in a fully packed squad, and he's still managing to get games. Like there's a lot of talent in the northeast, and like. The owners are looking towards that, and it will be nice to see we'll buy hungry, good young players with potential with a manager hopefully coming in and replacing them. But to go on to the last 18 months for the Premier League, Paul, it's been like we had to wait the initial 17 weeks and then arbitration, and like that was gonna go forward on my birthday, the 3rd of January, and like for it all to be put forward and go through now, it's crazy to talk about, but like. Yeah, I thought like after the arbitration news was announced, I thought they'd get another delay in January and we'll be going until at least next year before we even got an answer regarding this. But now we've got the takeover. It's crazy. It's unbelievable. It's a dream. So.
It is, but it's like when the Premier League put the statement out, even they said it's not healthy. This merry-go-round of shit that keeps happening. It was like ping pong between the two. Legal teams, and it had to come to an end because it wasn't healthy for the fans. The attendances were dwindling. It doesn't look good on TV for the Premier League. The amount of noise that Newcastle fans have created, and I think Newcastle fans have played a huge part in getting this takeover looked at and getting it pushed through so speedily. It doesn't look good, and when you've got like the likes of ourselves and many other different accounts and fans constantly retweeting the likes of Barclays and Coca-Cola and etc. You know, Budweiser, and all of these brands saying, "Well, do you want to be associated with a toxic brand? Do you want to be And there's only so much negativity. You know, when you've got protests outside of the Premier League's headquarters, when you've got petitions, when Boris Johnson, the Prime Minister, is getting involved, and this, that, and the other, and the local MPs shouting and screaming about it doesn't look great. So I don't think that the Premier League particularly wanted to do the deal. I don't think that Dick Master wanted to do the deal. I don't think Hoffman wanted to do the deal or anything else like that. But I think after the performance, like I touched on before, the performance of our legal team last time out was absolutely Champions League quality. And I think that's just literally like forced them to come back around the table. And I think at the end of the day, mate, common sense has prevailed. Because there was nothing, let's face it, mate, they were all arguing about separation. Bullshit. It was all just to do with this piracy stuff and over BN and all this lobbying and everything. And now we've got a different argument. You've got the rest of the 19 teams, including the greedy 6, trying to hold up morals and this, that, and the other when they're backed by people from China and Russia and all this sort of shit.
I want to discuss that. Yeah, let's go on. Let's go for that. Like, you've got the big 6 teams questioning the morality of a situation when 5 months ago they tried to kill the English football pyramid in England and go and join a Super League with a closed shop every year. All right, it's funny you mention that, but like. It's just so hypocritical from the top down. I see all these journalists like Miguel Delaney. Oh no, like he's so bitter. It's actually funny like how bitter Miguel Delaney is, and like even now to be able to tell him to be able to laugh at him and say like how devastated he actually is. It's not just ironic, but it's like poetic, and it's like beautiful just to like say how devastated he is and enjoy that tweet. Because I enjoyed getting back at him because the amount he slated this takeover and tried to make Newcastle fans feel guilty for that it's just shocking. And like he supports Man United and he was all for the takeover when it was for Man United, you know. So it's just a total hypocrite. But that's just one of many.
It is many
that this has been puffed up this takeover. Like
you picked his name, but you could have picked another 10, 15, 20 other people who are trying to be, trying to argue and trying to be a moral, sort of divine force. When they're not, they're doing it for their own political reasons, their own selfish reasons, or just because they are against Newcastle United. And I suppose we've got to get used to it now. Now that we're going to be, sort of in a bigger pool, swimming with bigger sharks and stuff like that, we're going to have to get used to it. It's the same stuff that have been chucked at Manchester City fans, same stuff that's been chucked at Chelsea fans, and so on and so forth. Look, I think it's a bit rich now how people are coming up and trying to throw the moral, card. I think it's really, really hypocritical to chuck it all in now. When the Premier League for many, many, many years has been swimming with these other sharks and being quite happy to accept their cash. So that's Abramovich, that's the Man City lot.
Yeah.
We've had situations where there's been legal cases and people getting done for fraud. Abramovich isn't allowed in the country because he doesn't have a passport, because he wouldn't go through with the full application and stuff like that. Then you find little things like Sheffield United in the Premier League recently. They've got Saudi investment in, but the same questions aren't asked. So then you've got to look at political motives and stuff like that. To me, mate, I'm looking forward to getting away from the politics, the bullshit, the Premier League trying to shit on us at every possible...
And Steve Bruce and stuff like that, and just get back to the football, mate, and enjoying.
And let's get back to some decent football, a little bit of hope about the future. And hey, I said it to you. I says, for the first time in 14 years, I feel like there's a possibility.
There is. There's hope.
Yeah, but just to see a cup. I'm 40 now, right? And when I was back at school and stuff, back in the 90s and everything, I always knew. I thought, well, we're going to win something. We're close. We need something else. So, right. So we get rid of Cole. We're going to bring in Shearer. We're going to get Ferdinand. We're going to get Asprilla. We're going to. That's, and I always felt that
we were hope that we were going to do more. There was always something that we were trying.
Staveley's given me that hope back, mate. Staveley and that consortium has given me that hope back that I will see Newcastle United at some point in the not so distant future finally win something. And I'll probably break down into an absolute blubber and wreck when it finally happens. But I can't thank them enough for giving me that hope back, mate.
That's it.
Keep everything else, mate. And I'm sure that there's fantastic plans going off. You've given me hope back. You've given the football club.
That sentence, mate, is absolutely everything. Like they've give the fans, the club, and the hope back. And it's like that is all Newcastle fans have really asked for. They've wanted the club back, and to feel a sense of it's theirs. It's a community club, like you said before. Like I don't think Amanda Staveley, I don't think the Rubens brothers, PIF, I don't think they can actually grasp what they've done for a lot of people up in the northeast. It's absolutely insane, and for Newcastle fans around the world as well, because I know there's many of them that we interact with online every day across the world, that it's done so much for, giving them a lease of life, a lease of hope, a lease of like proud to support the club, because for a lot of time in this 14-year period it was shameful to support this club and won't be named the sports director arena when Gutierrez was being sacked over the phone after getting cancer, or after keeping up on the final day of the season, treating Kevin Keegan, a club legend, like a piece of shit, but lowering Alan Shearer's name in public through the club. The amount of club legends that have been just ignored or embarrassed, like the likes of Warren Barton and stuff, not even being acknowledged to do scouting for them in America. Like that's as many examples, mate, that club legends, club icons weren't allowed anywhere near the club because of Mike Ashley. Ashley not only stained the community, he stained former players, he just stained the entire football club, and now he's fucking gone. And it's just a massive weight off the shoulders of Newcastle. Not just the football club, not just the establishment of the brand Newcastle United, but the city and the people in it as well. He has been a cancer and a stain on this club and city, and it's fucking fantastic to see the back of him. Like,
any Derby supporters listening to this, take a fucking runner. If there's anybody else to sell that football club to, take them, because he will be doing it for his own reasons. He is a selfish bastard if ever I saw one. He is doing it for his own reasons, his own gain. He doesn't give a shit about Derby County, just like the way he didn't give a shit about Newcastle United. You can sit there in the away end, mate, and knock back a few drinks and try and do a bit of Justin Barnes or Keith Bishop.
A couple of lemonades.
Yeah, you can do all that, mate, but it's as fake ass as you want. He never listened to the fans. He didn't give a shit about the fans. He called us customers. He called the fan base customers. He didn't give a shit when attendance has dropped. He didn't give a shit when we were repeatedly dumped out of cup competitions. We didn't qualify for Europe. None of that. Footballing priorities went out the window. It wasn't about that. It was running it. Best pound for pound investment and all this sort of bollocks and PR shit that might work in a tat shop. It might work in a pound shop. But you cannot live a champagne lifestyle on lemonade bastard money. And that is what that man does. He shouldn't be anywhere near football. No. We're talking about fit and proper, mate. We're talking about fit and proper in football. People questioning your Staveleys and this consortium. Yeah, wow. That man is not fit or proper to run anything. I wouldn't have that bastard run a bath for me.
He'd run it cold. But like, it's not just a win for Newcastle to have him out of football, mate. It's to have him out of the club. It's a win for football to have him out of the club as well. To have him out of football continuously, because people like him, people like Ellis Short, who used to run Sunderland, or the lad that used to run Blackpool, the lads at Bolton, Bury, people that have run these football clubs, they need to be eradicated from football. And Mike Ashley was probably one of the more known shit owners in England, and it needs to be eradicated one by one. It's a win for football that Mike Ashley's out the club. It's a bonus, merely a bonus. We're now the richest team in the world, and we've kind of won the lottery with that. But it was a win in itself, Mike Ashley being out the door, mate.
No thanks at all to that Cockney bastard. I'll tell you something. I never, ever, ever want to see, if I bumped into that man, if I bumped into that man, goodness me, he'd have to start
a podcast.
It'd be a podcast from fucking HMP Franklin or something like that. Because what he has put this club through. The thing is, mate, we are passionate. It is a part of your soul. And that man has deliberately, and all for just the chasing of money, strangled it. He has taken money out of the football club. He has sold land off that belonged to the football club to benefit himself. So all of this, Mike Ashley got the deal and stuff like that. He got the deal, mate, because it was the most money on the table for him. So all this statement and all this shit that he comes up with, no, piss off, take your Sports Direct shit and clear back down to fucking Shirebrook or wherever else
basically
that you're from. If you want to retire, piss off to Miami. The thing is, it's not even the football practices, mate. His business practices are shady. His factory conditions for people who work for him are shocking. He's a disgusting, vile piece of shit. And like I said, I don't want him anywhere near football. I don't want him anywhere. I don't want to share the same oxygen in the country, to be honest. We are so much better off. The future is fantastic, but it's not because of that man. And if you look at where he picked us up at,
and where he left us,
and where he left us, when he took us over, mate, we were a bigger club than Spurs, etc., etc., etc. We were like bigger than West Ham's.
Yeah.
Look at where he's left us, mate. And
there's no excuses for how far backwards that man took. We got relegated twice within about 7 or 8 relegation battles in 14 years. 2 of them championship seasons, and then the rest were mid-table. Finish at 1/5. But like, there's no excuse in what that man did to this club, what he did to many club icons. There's just like, we're going to save it to the end, saying bye to him, like doing a farewell message to Mike Ashley, but it's a case that we've done it in the middle of the podcast. It's not.
We're no order. I said, I wouldn't mind this lad coming back to St James's Park to take down those nasty, disgusting Sports Direct orders. He likes kicking the odd Horden, doesn't he? Does Tamuri Ketspire? So he'd be absolutely fantastic. Get him in. You could charge so much per ticket to give to the food bank and just see him kicking the shit out of that Sports Direct order. I'd pay to see that sort of thing. Let me tell you that.
100%, mate. But like, I just can't believe it. I'm in a daze. I've won in a daze. But like, it's not a case of like Rio Ferdinand saying we'll have to thank Mike Ashley. It's kind of a see you later, Mike Ashley. You know what I mean? It's
Mike Ashley.
Never fucking come back. Basically, is what it is, and it's like, I think Alex Hurst summed it up best on the True Faith podcast. For everything he's done, it's not a goodbye. It's a fuck you and see you later kind of thing, and that's the end of that. Like, he's plagued this club for long enough, and it's about time we're seeing the back of him. And I really hope, since it's a word that Steve Bruce likes, hope, ticking along and all that fucking shit. I really hope the next podcast we do, which, if rumours are to be believed, could well be tomorrow, that Steve Bruce gets relieved of his duties at Newcastle United with reports of an 8 million severance package. So he takes his 8 million, shoves up his fucking arse, because at the end of the day, he's been a plague on this club as well, you know. So it's like, there could be another podcast tomorrow. I hope there is, where Steve Bruce is being sacked as well. But more on that if he loses his job. So we're not going to mention Steve Bruce too much in this podcast. But if he loses his job tomorrow, which reports are saying he will, and common sense would suggest, 7 wins in 30.
He's even accepted himself, mate. He's come out with himself and he's pretty much said, look, new people often bring in their own new manager, fresh ideas and stuff. Stavely herself has come out today in the press and talked about not wanting any negativity around the stadium and stuff like that.
And he would be.
Yeah, and he would be a massive negative. So I think it's common sense. It's another easy win for the new ownership, just to get him out of the club. Take his 8 million, or however much he's getting out of that 8 million. Piss off to your villa in Portugal. Surround yourselves in kebabs, bacon, all that stuff. That is the only decent thing he's done. So that
buy enough of it for 8 million.
and just don't come back. Do not darken our days. No doubt he'll pop up as a studio guest a couple of months down the line to offer his unique thoughts.
Analysis.
If Ashley was to buy Derby, which is the rumour, he might get another opportunity in League One, which is probably his level.
I don't think it is. I think he's too good for that. I think he's too bad for League One. Not good enough.
But it's look. He's come in. He's slated the fans. He's stuck up for the regime. He's very pally. He's got all of his friends and his family to rally around him and tell us Newcastle supporters what a bunch of bastards we truly are. He was never my choice. I never wanted him in the first place, mate. And hopefully we are doing the podcast tomorrow or the day after, because the rumours are 48 hours and he'll be relieved of his duties. Graham Jones, interim caretaker manager, and then we're going to bring in a replacement manager. And there are some fantastic names on the list at the moment of managers who could potentially be linked. And talking about what I said before about top level people as opposed to all right people, you know,
people that do the bare minimum.
Just, even Steven Gerrard, although I think they'll be wanting a more experienced person. But looking forward to doing that podcast, mate. It's not personal, you know what I mean? Like, you don't wish him hate, like, or anything else like that. But
no, I don't.
I want him gone. I want him gone.
Like, I don't hate the man, Steve Bruce. I'm sure he's a very nice guy, and we've said this on many podcasts. But as a manager, mate, he's fucking useless. Like, he's absolutely terrible. He's awful. Like, in terms of the 14-year period under Ashley, for me, it's Joe Kinnear in a tie between Steve McLaren, Joe Kinnear, and Steve Bruce as the worst managers. And the fact that we've had 4 terrible, terrible managers, where Alan Pardew was absolutely horrendous and hated, and he's the 5th worst manager in the Ashley era. That's how fucking bad these choices were. Like, do you know that? Like, Newcastle, nobody can say Newcastle fans don't deserve a good crack of the whip, mate, in terms of trying to take a team forward, because of what we've had to put up with. I tell you, mate, like, Jesus God.
We haven't played football, mate. For 14 years, we've played anti-football. We've listened to Pardew excuse bingo. We've listened to Bruce excuse bingo. We've listened to Joe Kinnear talking about trying to sign players who we've loaned out to other clubs.
We had a little something under Rafa, mate, and Houghton was well liked, but other than that, nothing in 14 years, nothing. And that half a season under Pardew, the 1 season under Pardew, the 5th season, was a fantastic season. And, you know, like, that's all we had to cling on to. And even then, the best parts of that team was sold down the river as soon as Ashley could sell them. Do you know what I mean? So, like, anything he held back. Rafa, he held back. That team that finished 5th, he held back by not investing in it. He constantly held this club back. Any break that it got, he held it back and drowned it underwater.
Now, we're talking about your Ashley is putting the brakes on everything, trying to limit and lower down our expectations, which he has done. Now you've got somebody like Staveley who speaks a bit like a Kevin Keegan, and she's trying to infuse everybody and push people forward and raise our expectations and say, no, I'm not on about consolidating. I'm not on about mid-table. No, I'm on about winning the fucking thing within 5 to 10 years.
Wants to be.
The language, mate, is different. The language is of a winner. And the thing is, mate, if you've got a loser at the top, it will work its way down. So you've got losers all through the business and all through the structure. If you've got winners at the top, you're going to, again, it's going to filter down.
It's called the winning mentality, mate. 100%. Yeah. And as I said earlier on the podcast, like, with how much they were willing to fight to get to the helmet Newcastle, I'll back them to the end, mate. I really will. I'll back them to the end, and I'm willing to back them and give them time, because that's what's important now. It might be worth doing another podcast where long term what they're going to do and stuff like that, or what we think they should do, or give our opinion out, or whatever it may be. Maybe worth doing something like that. But to summarize, it's just a relief. I'm absolutely buzzing. Like, the season was looking to be the worst under Mike Ashley. Like, toxicity around Bruce, toxicity among fans, like all over the gap. It was insane. Like, the amount of toxicity that was being caused by Mike Ashley and Steve Bruce being in charge. And it's like, it's just seen all of it's lifted up off the shoulders, like I said before, and it's an absolutely insane feeling to support a club with hope for the first time in a long time. So it's just, this is fantastic. But in terms of, like, Magpie 24/7, obviously the last couple of months we've been sporadic, I'd probably say, in terms of uploading content and stuff. The main reasons for this was obviously the state of the club at the time, and me and Paul didn't want to feel like we're repeating myself every week and saying the same things, because the motivation just to say the same thing every week wasn't there. Like,
And we want the quality
creating content. We do, but it just, like, the way it was at the time, it was just absolutely insane to me that that we're saying the same thing over and over, and I didn't want to do that. I want to, like, you listening now, I want to bring you the best podcast we can. Do you know what I mean? And it's like we felt that we weren't delivering that by saying the same thing over and over again, because we're not just someone that'll hoist something out for the sake of hoisting it out for the sake of views. You know what I mean? Like, we want to connect with people and build relationships up the right way, and like, I didn't feel we're doing that, so we moved it from a weekly basis to a monthly basis. But we didn't actually make a podcast before this takeover happened, so it's kind of like we've just took a break, kind of thing, which it looks like now in hindsight. But it's just a little announcement within an announcement, because I've had some messages over the past couple of days. The page has asking about the podcast and stuff like that, the buzz around it, and like the buzz about wanting to hear what we've got to say about this takeover, because I'm sure you have listened with when it's been negative, it's been down, it's been dusk, and it's been horrible, and now it's a happy podcast, and we've got the hope in that. Again, it's just a massive thank you to you as well, who've contacted us personally and contacted the page, contacted Paul personally, commenting, getting involved with us. Like, there's loads of options you could go for. Like, realistically there is, but for you to choose us and take the time out your day to it means the world. So, like, we're coming back, and we're coming back for fucking vengeance. Like, we're coming back. Like, we're gonna be back on the weekly stuff, and not only that, YouTube as well, which has just hit 500 subscribers, which a massive thank you again. Yeah, the podcast's coming back, and it's come back in all of its might, like, because we promised at the back end of the last podcast, when something drastic happens. At the time, we didn't think that was going to happen. When something drastic happens, we're going to be back on the road, and we're going to be back on the road and back with a vengeance. Like, so it's a massive thank you to everybody that got in touch. Massive thank you to everybody who stays with it on a daily basis. And yeah, just like, if you've got anything to say, Paul, regarding anything before we wrap up, like, it's just a massive thank you to you. And as
it's a massive,
fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, all of the socials have been fantastic, and we still have obviously been putting out content and videos and different bits and bobs of stuff all across our socials: Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. If you haven't already, please do subscribe obviously to the YouTube channel. We just didn't want to do stuff for the sake of doing it. The quality to us is important, and we don't just want to keep sounding like a broken record. I think now there's so many different possibilities for the football club, so many different things to be able to talk about. We can bring different people in as well to give different viewpoints and opinions on stuff. There is football to talk about, because before we got to a situation we used to say there's no football to talk about. You've got 20-30% possession.
We had no football at all.
So what was there really to talk about, apart from the manager, the negative results, and the risk of relegation, and then the ownership? Thankfully, it is a brand new chapter for Newcastle United, and I think there's a great possibility of a fantastic, exciting event.
Yeah.
Look, I know it's early days, mate, but we're going to be looking to push up the Premier League. We're going to be looking to take Cup seriously. We're going to be trying to get back into Europe and having European adventures, mate.
Transfer windows, the whole whack, mate. I'm getting passport sorted, 100%.
I am absolutely, like I said, like a kid on Christmas Eve. I just can't wait to get going. Thank you for sticking with us. Many people have stuck with us from years and years and years ago, right the way through. Many people have found Magpie 24/7 independently. So yeah, it's just a massive thank you, massive thumbs up. I think quite a few people have commented on the coverage that we give the takeover. I think we've been really, really active across all of the social media. A little bit of a blip on Instagram. Had some technical issues there, all sorted out now for Instagram. But the podcast is the centerpiece, and now we've got football to be able to talk about, and there may be a new
and that's for football club again, not a dead skeleton. Yeah. It is just a massive thank you to everybody, man. Like, we love the support that we've got. It's just brilliant. Like, we're not the biggest, we never will be, but we appreciate every single one of you that get in contact, man. And just because at the end of the day, we're just two average fans like you know what I mean? We just don't claim to be anything. We're not celebrities or whatever it may be. We don't have any agendas to make money or anything. It's just we'll just sit on a podcast. That's what we'll do, and it's what we'll always do. And thank you for being with us. It's just a massive bottom of the heart thing. I get all emotional, but like, yeah, it's just the top of the podcast. Just massive thank you, and we've got our fucking takeover, and we've got our fucking club back. Fucking come on. But we'll love yous and leave yous for now, and hopefully we'll be back tomorrow as hopefully Steve Bruce is on the unemployment line. Nothing against you, mate, but you fucking shit. See you later.
You won't go hungry though, will you, Brucey? Not with £8 million bloody quid in your bank, man.
See you later, everyone. Ta-ra.